This is Miyamoto Musashi. He wasn't just a swordsman, he was discipline in human form. Most people hear his name and think samurai. They picture armor, swords, and jewels. But he was more than a samurai. He wasn't chasing titles or tradition. He wasn't trying to look honorable or heroic. Musashi was obsessed with one thing: mastery. While other boys chased comfort, Musashi didn't. So who was he really? Miyamoto Musashi was born in Japan in the late 1500s at a time when life was brutal. There was no safety net. If you were weak, you didn't get second chances. He didn't grow up with comfort or guidance. His father was a skilled swordsman, but strict and distant, and Musashi lost his mother when he was still young. From early on, he learned how to rely on himself. At just 13 years old, Musashi fought his first real duel, with no practice, not even sparring. A real fight where someone could die. And he won. From that moment, his life changed. While other people followed rules, schools, traditions, and comfort, Musashi didn't. He went on his own path. He traveled alone, challenged stronger opponents, and trained constantly, not for validation, but to understand himself. Over his lifetime, Musashi fought more than 60 real duels and never lost a single one. But here's the thing, he wasn't chasing fame or respect. He rejected comfort and avoided distractions because he believed something most people never learn. If you can't control your own self, you'll never control your life. Now that we know who he was, let's go dig deeper. Because Musashi didn't become unbreakable by accident. It came down to a few habits he followed every single day. So let's break down the 5 habits that made Miyamoto Musashi unbreakable. The first habit that really separated Musashi from everyone else was that he trained alone. Musashi spent most of his life by himself, not inside a dojo, not surrounded by students, a teacher, or a mentor. Just him, his weapon, and his own reality. Most people avoid training alone because it's quiet, it's lonely, and miserable. But when it's quiet, there's nothing to distract you from your weaknesses. When you're alone, you can't hide behind your teammates, excuses, and validation. Your lack of discipline shows up, your excuses show up, and instead of running from that, he embraced it and adapted. The next habit is something most people struggle with today, is that Musashi didn't care about opinions. Musashi lived in a time where reputation mattered, but he didn't chase it. He didn't care about praise, he didn't panic over criticism, and he definitely didn't live to impress anyone. He understood something simple: most people talk, very few people understand. If he listened to every voice around him and cared about what others thought, he would have lost direction. So instead, he listened to reality. He listened to what worked, what didn't, what kept him alive. Everything else was just background noise. And this matters today more than ever, because if you let social media, comments, comparisons, and other people's expectations decide how you live, you'll never build anything solid. Musashi wasn't arrogant, he was focused on his purpose. One of the biggest reasons Musashi stayed undefeated wasn't strength, it was emotional control. Before the duels, Musashi would arrive late, on purpose, not because he didn't care, but because he wanted to see how his opponent reacted. Some got angry, some got nervous, some lost focus before the fight even started. No matter what was happening, Musashi stayed calm, because once emotions take over, judgment disappears. Anger makes people reckless, fear makes them hesitate, ego makes them predictable. Musashi didn't need to dominate emotionally, he just needed to stay clear-headed, and that calm under pressure won him fights before a blade was even raised. Another thing Musashi did was he never attached to one way of doing things. Most warriors followed traditional styles, one way. Musashi didn't believe in that. He understood that once you lock yourself into one way, you become predictable, and predictable is why people lose. Sometimes he fought with one sword, sometimes with two, sometimes with whatever was available. He wasn't trying to look impressive, he was trying to win. Whatever circumstances he faced, he adapted, and adaptation is what kept him alive and ahead of everybody else. The last habit Musashi followed was, he didn't rely on motivation. He didn't wait to feel ready, he didn't wait to feel motivated. He trained because it was necessary. Some days he would have been tired, bored, or uncomfortable. But he still showed up anyways, because discipline is where growth actually happens. Musashi understood this. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. Discipline is doing the work when it's boring, when you don't feel like it, and when nobody is watching. That's how he stayed sharp for decades. No emotion was involved or hype, just consistency.